I've partnered with Meta to bring you with me to the Meta Performance Summit and give you the inside scoop. This was invite only, and unless you were spending $1 million a month, you weren't getting in. But I was there, and now I'm gonna give you everything. The decks, the playbooks, the secret workbooks that the best advertisers in the world are using. So whether you're spending $50 a day or $50,000, this video is perfect for you. If you're just starting out or already scaling, this video is gonna change everything about how you think about the ads in the future to come. I've added timestamps down below so you can come back and rewatch your favorite parts, and I'm answering every question in the comments section, so don't be shy. Now, the summit really focused on 3 big fundamentals: incrementality, artificial intelligence, and creator. So I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know, as well as give you a little sneak peek at some of the slides, and if you want all of the presentations that you had to be there to get, I'm gonna give them to you for free. Just go to this website. Okay? It's free. There you go. For you. Let's start with the biggest shift from Meta. ROAS is dead and attribution doesn't equal impact. Now, obviously, some of that's a bit of an editorial, but the rest of it isn't. And I'm going to show you some slides and some of their presentations here that prove just how differently they're thinking about stuff. What I love is that Meta is officially telling us to move past ROAS and start focusing on what really matters: incrementality. Right out of the gate, shots fired, page 6 of the Measuring Incrementality deck. Check this out. 35% of spend is wasted on non-incremental sales if spending is prioritized based on last click. More damning even, 78% of advertisers still use last click for investment decisions. Still use it. Like, you know you shouldn't have been. Now, for those of you trying to read the fine print, it's talking about the data set for this, so let's validate it. It's $741 billion in ads. I hope that's a data set good enough to say this isn't what you should be doing. And yes, this has a direct implication to people who refuse to use view attribution and folks who worry about cost controls and attributed revenue for their sales. Folks that rely on ROAS, cost caps, bid caps, they ignore the incrementality of their efforts. They're just missing the majority of the good data. And the fact that the machine, the people at Meta are telling you this from the stage is excellent. There's a reason why none of the big cost cappers were even invited, and how basically no one in the industry has any respect for that strategy. But David told me to be nicer, so I'm gonna leave it at that. This really shows how a campaign can look amazing in platform, but have zero impact on the bank account. Now, to dive in a little bit deeper, they also gave us this wonderful stat point. Shifting shopping behaviors limit click-based measurement insights. Gen Z consumers are 2 times more likely to buy without clicking on an ad compared to other age groups. And 60% of their time spent on Facebook and Instagram is now video. To quote my buddy McCoy from Portland Leather Good, what you're looking for here is what they're not saying. Sometimes it's about what they don't say, far more than what they do say. And really what we're getting to here is more and more people are watching reels and engaging with video content. And instead of stopping the video to ruin their experience, to hand you money, which is just rude for you to expect anybody to do, they're just watching the video. And they're going and making purchasing decisions because their attention span is slightly greater than 5 seconds. And I think we need to give them credit for that, because I'm fully guilty of being like, I like this video, stop it, and then go to the website. Now, when it comes to incrementality asks a very important question. What actually changed in your business because of this ad? Not who clicked, not who got credit, but what actually moved the needle. Now, I've been saying this for a long time myself, and basically, if you have 1,000 ads going on inside of your ad account, or even 2 or 3 dozen, the ability for you to know what ad made somebody do something is completely impossible. So you eventually resort back to some attribution-based metric to say, well, what was the last touch point in the customer journey? And let me give all of the credit to that person, which is objectively just stupid. So then you have people saying, well, we're only relying on last click, so let's launch a ton of new ads all the time, which is even dumber because all of those new ads are being launched at the bottom of the funnel, so you're never reaching new people, you're never getting incremental, and while your efficiency on the reporting platform might get better and better, your bank account goes to 0. There's a reason why every cost capper agency loses clients faster than they can keep them. They're hemorrhaging employees, and why most brands that are spending more than 8 figures rely on that for no more than 10 or 15% of their budget, unless they're like Obvi and they're in Walmart, where Facebook isn't the top of their funnel. But you're not them. So what you're doing shouldn't follow their playbook. Now, Meta defined this simply as what happened and what would have happened anyway. And really, they're measuring this based on something called lift. This is about lift, not attribution. you compare the results of people who saw your ads versus those that didn't. And to do this, you're really going to do conversion lift studies, which is geo holdouts, or just straight up just segmenting the universe. And it's great to see what is the difference or delta of the results that you get from people who saw your ads compared to how many people saw your ads versus didn't. And that really just helps you understand how impactful your ads are. The key here is to track business outcomes, not pixel events. And I've been telling this to people for a long time. Attribution isn't about credit. Attribution is how you teach the machine what to bring you more of. That's somebody who buys, bring me more buyers. If I exclude the data set of people who viewed, then I'm only going to be focusing on the people who click, which means I'm going to reach less new people. That doesn't help me grow my business. That's the antithesis of incrementality. And the beautiful thing about actually optimizing for what matters, they gave us two great new options. One's an update, and this is for value optimization. So check out this slide. This was from day 2 in the breakout sessions. So you can move beyond CPA and directly optimize for ROAS using value optimization. Now we know we can always value optimize to improve the AOV, but now they've given us two very actionable, sexy updates. First, you can value optimize for profit. And this allows you to define not only the price of a thing, but how much profit you make when you sell it so that you can effectively optimize for greater profitability. You can basically optimize for better GPT, and that's phenomenal. So for you lead gen folks and SaaS folks out there, you can define the value of specific qualities of leads and even custom conversion events and optimize for value based around those things that occur before a sales call. Basically, if you're optimizing for value, you better not be using cost controls. Again, shots fired from the stage. Let's keep going. Don't use this option if you can't optimize for profit, which kind of goes without saying. This is currently in beta. It'll be available to most of you by Q3, so you can spend your Black Fridays optimizing for the volume of profit you make on a product, not the margin. Because remember, margins don't pay bills. If you're not optimizing for dollars, your strategy doesn't make any sense. So really, Meta gave us 3 goals: acquire, retain, and grow, which sounds about right to me. And for each one, a matching KPI. Real metrics like CAC, retention rate, and LTV. Once you start measuring incrementality and stop optimizing for credit, your brand can really begin to grow. And I'll say this, there's a reason why they said this to a room full of people spending $1 million a month or more, because they were the ones willing to look past, am I going to get fired? They're not ad agencies trying to stay on with clients. They're brands that are trying to grow. For those brands in that room, success isn't 20, 30% growth every year. That's a failure. These brands are doubling and tripling every year. If you're not looking at a 2 to 3, 4, 5x horizon every 365 days, then your definition of success is the reason that you're failing. All right. So now let's get into AI-powered scale. I loved how much they dove into AI and really focused on it. And to be fair, 99% of it is not generative AI. Like, they're not just making ads for you. I know that's the big doomsday everybody's worried about, but full disclosure, I saw what those ad products look like. I can't talk about it here, but like, it doesn't suck. I actually really liked it. I'm actually really bullish on that becoming available for more people. But with that being said, let's talk about what AI actually means inside of your ad account. Because no, it's not ChatGPT making images and like writing things with the M dash. Whether you like it or not, Meta is using a ton of AI in your account, and they have been for nearly a decade. Meta's system makes all the delivery choices for you. You have never had the ability to determine who sees your ad or which version of the ad they see or when they see it. Those auctions are happening in microseconds, millions of times, trillions of times a day. Like, you can't possibly be on top of any of that. Like, at best, you're looking at like hour by hour, day by day. Hopefully it's like week by week, and how much I spent and what my attributed results are, and then what that does for my business. Like, you cannot ever make these choices. The AI's already been doing all the work for you. So stop fighting. Remember, your job isn't to outsmart it. Your job is to train it. Now, to start off with, really there's a change in the language here. Instead of the algorithm, it's now the AI. You need to give it clear objectives, good signals, and fewer constraints. Simplicity helps the machine specialize. If you don't set it up to be working for you. You're setting it up to work against you. And it's your fault if it doesn't work. You are not a victim. It is working for people all around the world. You just got to learn how to use it. Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this is they went deeper into the opportunity score and the performance scorecard. And I'm going to show you the performance scorecard in here in just a minute. But going back over the opportunity score, I want to tell you two things. First off, it's getting better and better at the suggestions that it makes. And getting a perfect score doesn't really mean anything. But going from a 50 to a 90 is going to really make an impact on your bank account. The second thing is that it's getting smarter at the suggestions it makes with the context of your situation. So it's using data to understand when these are the right choices, and it's suggesting them to you more often and with greater importance if it's more and more confident that that's the right thing. And these suggestions are data backed, they're prioritized, and they're personalized, meaning you're gonna get the most data-driven suggestion based on what you need the most. And you're gonna get a list of action items based on what's gonna have the most impact starting first. That's incredible. Now, you can choose to ignore it all you want, but having an assistant that can talk to the machine, tell you exactly what you should be doing is a pretty good opportunity. And for those that have been burned by the Google version of this thing, understand that that's like the Flintstones car to like a spaceship. They're barely even the same thing. They're both vehicles. Got it. One of them is Google being really dumb, and one of them is Meta using artificial intelligence, what they call Andromeda, powered by all of those fun NVIDIA chips, to leverage every single choice made by every single person to help you make better choices without having to do any of the hard work or waste any of the money yourself. That's incredible. Now I want to dive into the performance scorecard. I'm going to show this to you. Check this out. This is now available in your account. The performance scorecard helps you track your actions and unlock new opportunities for your business. It combines foundational and emerging best practices in one place. And your people should be able to get this to you. And what I love is it doesn't say do this. It just says, based on your performance, are you doing better or worse than we think that you could? And so there's some really great call outs in this scorecard. Now it starts off with automated campaigns. And the big call out here is only 42% of the campaigns in this person's account are currently in the state of Advantage Plus. Remember, there's not an Advantage Plus campaign versus normal campaigns anymore. It's all the same thing. Advantage Plus is basically saying, are you currently in a state where you're best leveraging automation? Yes or no? According to this, they can basically do 2 times better. That seems like an easy win. I also want to call out, they have objective and goals. They have the audience, like the optimized account structure, how much of your ad account is in the learning phase. This brand apparently is at 12.9% in the learning phase, which is great. Basically, it's saying that, and in this case, 87.1% of all ad spend is being spent in campaigns where Facebook has statistical significance and confidence in knowing the outcome of the end user experience. That's what the learning phase is about. That's a pretty good sign. Now, they're doing that great, but if we go one line lower, red flag. Budgets and bid. Apparently 59.5% of this ad account is in CBO, meaning somebody for some reason is still using ABO on 40% of your ad spend. Like, you shouldn't be using ABO to test ads. That doesn't make any sense. You definitely shouldn't be using it to test audiences. Why are you even using them? That doesn't make any sense. Now, there are some use cases where ABO is an effective solution. We're not really going to get into that right now, but 80-20 rule, ABO is 20% of the 20% of an 80-20 rule. Like, there's no real logical reason for you to use it. Now, there's a lot of people that do, and they're going to hold on to it until they die, but it just doesn't make any sense when you explain why you should do it out loud in sentences. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but simply put, a small amount of data that's cannibalistic without context, retroactively, based on last click information, without any understanding of how it impacts the bank account, is a really bad way to try to make future decisions. If you're running an ABO campaign, also understand that basically every single ad set in that campaign is its own campaign. So if you say, I have a really simple ad account with only 3 campaigns, and one of them is an ABO with 50 ad sets, what you told me is you have 52 campaigns, and campaigns don't talk to each other. That's basically a ridiculously complicated ad account and a complete waste of everybody's time. Moving down to creative and placements, we can see that there's definitely some opportunities here. They're still using advantage placements. Come on, people. Breakdown effect was explained in 2015. We don't need to optimize for placements anymore. Please stop doing that. There are, again, some edge use cases, 80-20 rule. I know a lot of folks that are running on Instagram only with Instagram automated ManyChat sales funnels on a couple $100 a day. Hey, look, go for it. But if you're watching this video and you want to make a ton of money, that's probably not the path for you. We also have some Reels placement stuff here. We have a diversity in video and static. And that's what they mean, by the way, when they say diversify your creative, have different styles, meaning have some videos, have some static, talk on different concepts. It doesn't mean launch 50 new ads every week. That makes no sense. Like the justification for making the machine dumber. It doesn't mean that you're launching 50 more ads every week. Like you don't want a dumb machine when making money is the goal. That just doesn't make any sense. And we've got some good points here around creative fatigue and adopting Gen AI. And yeah, we've got some CAPI issue. We should be at 100% coverage. We're only at 83. And their event match quality, their EMQ should be above an 8, but it's at a 7.1. Their catalog match rate isn't good. Honestly, this is a very clear signal to me that somebody that is stuck in 2017 and how they manage their ad account is trying to force a lot of bad data into a machine when they could probably get a lot better results leveraging CBO, leveraging consolidation, and making sure that their data quality is better. Because remember, Meta is a machine learning algorithm. You have to be mindful of what you're teaching it. And if what you're teaching it is garbage and you have no integrity around the data, do not expect the output to be anything that you're happy with. Now, I know I just told you a lot of slides. There's a link down here if you want to get all of the slides 100% free. Just snag them. Again, there's over a dozen presentations and over 100 pages. I can't begin to touch on all of it here for you. But I do have a video on Disruptor Academy YouTube channel where we actually break this down. It's nearly 2 hours long. So if you want to dive in deeper, you can go check that out. Now, we've got a lot of really great interviews coming up in just a bit with folks from Ridge and Portland Leather Goods, internal engineering teams at Meta. We've got Dara Denny and Ben Heath. There's a lot of good stuff coming, but I also want to talk about the third topic that they hammered home over and over and over again, and it was creator. That is your advantage. And most people are wildly underappreciating it and misusing it. So let me help you reach a lot more new people with your ads so you can grow your business with incrementality, raising the size of your total addressable market by doing a lot less work when leveraging other people that are a lot better than you at getting that attention. That's what this is all about. The last unlock here is creators. And it's not just influencer partnership ads. It's not just whitelisting. It's so much more than that now. Meta has hard data to prove just how valuable it is when working with a creator. And I'm going to show you how to do all that here in a minute. But first, I want to give you the data and then the action item, right? Like let's just go ahead and follow the simple path of proof, promise, and plan. Here's the proof. Partnership ads are the most performant and transparent way to run ads with creators. By adding partnership ads to business as usual, brands saw a 19% reduction in CPAs with a 53% higher click-through rate. Now, you know me, I don't really give a damn about click-through rate, but 19% drop in CPAs, that actually speaks in my language. And partnership ads with a Reels placement got better video engagement. And this is 18% lower CPC, 25% higher CTR, 22% higher through play rate, 21% higher 3-second video play rate. The long story short is this: running creators is a far more effective way of getting attention. And if you can get the attention of people who aren't normally seeing your business, this is a great way to add incrementality to your business. One of the great examples that we heard on day 2 in the breakout session, and I was sitting at the table with Dara Denny and Ben Heath and Mr. Paid Social himself, Kaylee Krause. And we had this great woman that came on and she does like DIY furniture. And she talked about how when brands come to her around furniture stuff, it does okay. But when she gets like food stuff or clothing, it explodes because that is showing a new message to her audience. That content performs amazing from her handle, but it also provides a brand new audience to the brand. And the important thing to remember here is that just like every ad has learning, so does every Instagram and Facebook account. So when you're leveraging a creator that has an audience that is paying attention to what they have to say, you're also accessing that audience when they post things in a way that basically begins to train the algorithm to show your ads to new people. I was talking with somebody about a certain crocheted little kit, and he was talking about how just every single ad is going after crafters. Maybe creator ads is the path for you, my man, to reach new individual people that are completely different. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Have somebody that doesn't speak to your audience talk about your product, service, or offer to their audience. And that's the easiest way of expanding the audience that you reach. You say it like that, it's dumb not to do it. And really, again, you're not renting their audience, you're leveraging the trust. And that's really important. Now, when it comes to working with creators, the real unlock is in the creative brief. And I've seen a lot of these briefs. I used to have a 6-figure monthly budget just to go out and reach people. And I got good content and bad content. I paid Kris Jenner enough money 7 years ago that I still haven't seen the return on the ad spend for that ad. And really, as somebody that has sent out a lot of briefs and has gotten a few, because I also make content for people, what I can tell you is this: the brief is the reason that you win or lose sometimes before the first shot is even filmed. And it's because most brands are trying to have the creator be an actor for their business. And that's just a complete miss. And really, the big gap here is that most briefs make completely unrealistic demands and don't give any specificity. And really, what's going to unlock the top performing content from creators that you work with is following a simple path. And again, if you want the full brief of what you should be giving to people as a full handout template that they gave to us, right there, boom. You need to tell the creator why them. Like if you work with me, you need to tell me, we like to work with you because you explain complex things in a simple way that challenges normal beliefs. You're disruptive. Awesome. Now I know what my motivation is. And honestly, I know the framework of how to have the conversation. Next, you need to let me know any keywords that need to be said. Are there things I should say? Are there things I shouldn't say? For instance, Meta is probably not going to be very happy with me if I start throwing around Facebook ads all the time. I got to say Meta ads, right? And you might not want to mention your competition in content that you're paying for. You might also want to mention them, but there's, specificity around that. You also really need to clearly define the deliverables. Don't say we need a viral video. Tell me you need a 20-minute video for YouTube, or you need a 90-second Instagram reel, or you want 3 story ads to be laid out over a week. Whatever it is, I need to know, because as a creator, I need to understand what the sandbox is. Like, what are the tools that I can use? And ultimately, what is the medium that you want this work to be delivered in? I love that Meta also drove home the point that you need to discuss the story framework. And when I work with brands, I give them the script and the details before I shoot. That way they know the words I'm going to say, my tempo, my phrasing, my vernacular, my timbre. They know the angle that I'm coming with. And it has helped prevent so many reshoots and lost time and just wasted money. And that's the reason why the people that I work with have always been really stoked. There's not a single company that I've worked with as a creator that hasn't come back and asked me to do work again. That's great. And lastly, you need to define if there's a structure that you're expecting. Like, you want to hop on the latest trend. Okay, is it a get ready with me thing? Or is it something like this, where it's an explainer excitement video where my job is to go sit through 48 hours of presentations, talk to 500 people and break it down to 15 or 20 minutes so that you get super excited and know exactly what you should be doing so that you're going to spend more money with confidence and be happy about it. That is a very specific ask. It's not go here, make videos, sorry we didn't like it. That's your fault if that happened. And remember, the focus of creator content isn't to make the sale. You've got static images sitting, according to a 4PI analysis, lower in your funnel. The purpose of this is to attract the attention of a larger or new total addressable market. You're trying to expand where your ads go. You're trying to be incremental to your business. You're not trying to make the 50th version of the same ad. You're trying to reach somebody you've never talked to before. That's how you bring in new customers at scale. So think about it like this. Ads don't make sales, right? Like, no ad makes a sale. An ad earns attention. What you're trying to do is stop the scroll and entertain or inform or just educate somebody about something in a way that gets them to be more interested in your brand. or your service or your product or your offer. And that's really what advertising is. So at its core, what you're trying to do is just get people to make content that makes other people care about you. And when I pay a creator or when somebody pays me, the job is simple. Here's some money. Make a video so that the people I want to talk about me see this and they care about what I have to say. And that's where we drive incremental results. And the artificial intelligence is going to know who to show that ad to that feels kind of like your existing buyer base, but has never seen your content before. Like, I hope you begin to see how these all connect, right? It's about incrementality. It's about giving the machine better data so it can make smarter choices, and about an easily leverageable way to have other people do the hard work to reach new audiences and leverage all the data that their audience already has. This is the 3-step cheat code that you got to be using. All right, so let's wrap this up. Incrementality tells you what works. AI scales what works, and creators make it work better. Again, I've linked every deck, workbook, and guide that Meta gave us right here for you to get for free. Save this video, use the timestamps, ask any questions you have in the comments section down below. And if you want more success, again, check out Disruptor Academy right over there. That's where you can have these kind of conversations with me every single week and see all the breaking news. Plus, you would have access to this 2 weeks ago. And also, I just want to say thank you so much. I know that your time and attention is valuable, and it has meant so much to me to see all of your success. This is our year. Let's go get this together. I can tell you that I've not been this optimistic around ads on the platform since 2018. And running into so many of you that had the chance to see success because of one thing I might have said on this channel means everything to me. And if you want to watch more, I highly suggest you check this video out. You've made it to the end of this one. So until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Bye.